Get back in here. Sit down. What's your problem? Be quiet. Be quiet, or I'll hold you in contempt of court. You might want to reconsider representing yourself, Mr. Colton.
All right. Today, we're looking at a courtroom moment that really shows what not to do when representing yourself. This individual chose to go without a lawyer, which turned out to be a poor decision. Things took a turn when he made a disrespectful comment toward the judge on his way out, and it backfired immediately. Judges have the responsibility to keep their courtroom under control, and this one wasn't about to let that kind of behavior slide. The exchange is both surprising and a little entertaining, especially seeing how firmly the judge handled the situation. Take a look and let me know in the comments. Was the judge being fair, or did this person cross the line?
The court is now calling City of Pontiac versus Philip Colton, case number 23 TRD 802. Good morning. Mr. Colton, did you understand all of the rights and plea options I explained to everyone?
For the most part, if I'm not wrong, I am entitled to a crash report or an accident report, I should say.
Well, if you're not wrong, then you want to plead not guilty today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, and that can be obtained by you and or your attorney from the law director or the prosecutor's office.
I have asked, I've went to records and it is not available.
Okay, well, we can deal with that later.
Okay.
This is your initial appearance hearing. Did you have any questions about the rights and plea options I explained to you earlier?
No, sir.
Did you receive a copy of these traffic citation that was issued on November 4th, 2020?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, you are charged with one count of stopping after or failing to stop after an accident or leaving the scene of a crash or accident. A violation of section 335.12A1 of the Pontiac City Ordinances. If you're convicted of this offense, it's first-degree misdemeanor. If you're convicted of this offense, you face a maximum 6 months in jail and a maximum fine of $1,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Also, if there is anyone who is damaged as a result of your actions and you're convicted of this offense, the court could order restitution, order you to pay restitution to that victim of up to $5,000. Do you understand that as a possible consequence? Finally, if you're convicted of this offense, you face a minimum license suspension of 6 months up to a maximum 3 years. So do you understand that as a possible consequence? And how do you wish to plead to this charge? The court will accept your not guilty plea. Are you asking the court to consider appointing an attorney to represent you?
No, sir.
Okay, will you be retaining an attorney?
No, sir. I'll be representing myself.
That's not a wise thing, Mr. Colton, to represent yourself. You're not an attorney. You don't know the legal processes. So I
do have that right, though, right?
You sure do, sir.
Okay.
So you wish to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
This is where things really start to fall apart for him. Honestly, it's hard to understand why someone would choose to face serious charges without a lawyer unless they were influenced by certain online groups that encourage that kind of thinking. I mean, you're looking at possible jail time and you decide to go it alone? That rarely works out. In fact, research shows that people who represent themselves in court are found guilty far more often than those with attorneys, especially in felony cases where the conviction rate is over 80%. That's a huge risk to take. It's hard to see the logic behind it, unless he truly believed he could figure it all out online. If anyone watching has a good reason why someone would skip having legal representation in a serious case like this, drop it in the comments, because I honestly can't figure it out. Let's get back to it.
Do you read and write English for the record? Yes, sir. I'll provide you a document. It's entitled Waiver of Counsel. Take a few minutes to read it. If you find it acceptable, you can sign in date at the bottom. The court finds the defendant has executed in open court the written waiver of counsel document. In this case, Mr. Colton has decided to represent himself, so he will be pro se. Okay, Mr. Colton, I I do not have a written bond recommendation from the prosecutor or law director, as this was a citation issued by the police officer, so I have to ask you a few questions. Do you live, the ticket has you at 5 West Main?
Yes, sir.
What's the apartment number?
37.
37 in Conneaut. How long have you lived there?
4 years.
4 years? Let's see, Mr. Colton has no prior criminal history in this court. And his last traffic violation was back in 2008. Mr. Colton does not represent to be a flight risk. I will set bond in the amount of $5,000 personal recognizance. And I will set this case for a pretrial conference in the near future. We're being released on your own recognizance, Mr. Colton. You're going to go, when you leave the courtroom, you're going to go to the clerk's window. They're going to give you a date and time for your next hearing. That will be the only notice you receive from the court, so make sure you put it on your calendar. If you fail to appear for that hearing, I'll revoke your bond and then I'll issue a bench warrant for your arrest, okay? You could also, the city of County, have $5,000 if you're found, if you aren't here when you're supposed to be here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I am not your attorney. I am not your legal advisor. So if you're going to ask me, like you're not the first one who's going to ask me legal questions. I cannot answer your legal question, only procedure. So you have any procedural questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I would like to know why I am not getting an accident report.
Mr. Colton, you're going to represent yourself. There are what we call rules of discovery. So I would advise you to talk to the prosecutor or law director's office, which is across the hall, and then they'll provide that to you.
Is there a reason you can't?
This is where we get into the situation where a non-lawyer isn't familiar with the procedures. The court doesn't provide discovery. Discovery is exchanged between the parties.
How come the records office will not give me a copy?
Talk to the law director's office. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Get back in here.
Sir, get back in court.
Sit down. What's your problem?
I believe I'm getting railroaded.
You just pled not guilty to a charge. I found you not guilty. I've accepted the not guilty plea. Be quiet! Be quiet! Or I'll hold you in contempt of court. Now, why do you feel railroaded? Because you went to the police department and asked for a copy of the report. You went to the wrong office. And any attorney would know that. You go to the law director's office, which is prosecuting this case. And you don't get it from the court. Any attorney knows that. You might want to reconsider representing yourself, Mr. Colton.
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other noises you want to make before you leave this courtroom?
No, thank you.
Then get out of here without making a noise.
Yes, sir.
Let's be honest. This guy definitely didn't leave the courtroom with the same confidence he walked in with. Now, I'll admit, the judge may have been a bit tough here. But at the same time, I get it. Being a judge comes with a lot of pressure, especially when you're constantly dealing with people who try to bend the rules or challenge the system. Without fully understanding it, some folks really believe they've uncovered a legal loophole, but in reality, they just end up wasting the court's time. Eventually, a judge is going to lose patience. And unfortunately for this guy, he happened to catch the brunt of it. But again, the bigger question is, why are people in serious legal trouble still choosing to represent themselves? Even if a Chihuahua public defender isn't perfect, they're still trained and experienced. Watching videos online doesn't compare. The truth is, most people who go without a lawyer end up losing, and the stats back that up. Anyway, this was definitely one of the more intense court moments. I still think the judge might have gone a bit far, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Was it fair, or was it too much? Drop your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content like this. I post every day, so stay tuned.